I'm with Eric. He's been awesome. But Eric, what do you do here? Tell us about you.
Yeah, so I'm one of the co-founders of NYTOP. We started the brand, it's a few good friends of mine. We kind of started it together as a passion project because we all come from automotive design background. And we run a consultancy firm for clients that are in the automotive space, aftermarket or OEM. We do a lot of strategy, research, design work, and things like that. So, on the side, we're like, hey, since we're all car guys, we all love, off-roading and even sports cars, and we're just, let's make something, since we have the capability of design, manufacturing, and all that from our main line of business. Why don't we come up with our own thing, So the main reason for it to, be called Nightop is because, like I mentioned earlier, it's not your typical off-road parts because everybody else kind of do the same thing, and we try to find a gap in the market where it's more like a mild to medium use, nothing major, no major cutting, so that a lot of people, when you buy a new car, you don't want to cut it up straight up, right? Like you want to kind of keep it the way it is. So we try to make things that are like adding on top of it, but also not like take away from it, and so I think that's why we're kind of different in that sense, and also you can tell from our design of all the products, they are actually intentionally designed for each vehicle, like the fender flares, rock sliders. It's not just a tubular thing where you can only, it's a tube, you can't really make it any different really.
Right.
So
yeah,
you don't see a lot of non-tubular sliders out there. So we try to make it designed specifically for each vehicle, so every single surface on there actually matches the vehicle.
I am eyeing this Land Cruiser. You have to tell me what's on this thing.
Yeah, so as you know, our brand stands for Nightop stands for not your typical off-road parts. So we usually kind of have the same recipe for all the other Toyota and Lexus vehicles. Starting from the front, we have this hybrid bumper. We call it hybrid bumper. It has nothing to do with the engine power plant, but it's more like half bumper. It's not a full replacement where you have to remove all the crash structure behind. So this way we retain the OEM crash feature, and we only add on top of it, while keeping everything original, and we're not trimming or drilling anything, so everything's fully reversible to stock. And that's where I think our parts stand out, is that it doesn't do any permanent damage, I guess. Not really damage, but in a way that you can still take everything off and then you can return the car to stock if you want to get rid of it later. So because of that, it's kind of limited. We cannot really put a winch in there because your crash beam is still behind. But the main function of our parts is some extra protection, and the most important part is better recovery point location.
Oh, absolutely.
So all of our recovery points, they bolt to the crash beam and the frame behind it, yeah, so we try to make it low profile as much as we can.
Cool.
Yeah,
I like the bull bar-ish look. This is Picatinny rail things.
So we have this we call it accessory rails, but it's basically that, and this fits on multiple different products that we have for different vehicles.
Oh, that's so cool.
So you can put whatever lights you want. You can kind of adjust it that way. But we have the Baja Designs LP6 on here, and this is a perfect location, and
gorgeous.
Yeah, it works really well, and yeah. So, and then we have our underbody protection down there. It's kind of hard to see. It's all aluminum, and then pieces on the side for the control arm, and things like that. And I think one of the most popular things that we offer for the new LC and the GX is actually the fender flares. These are real carbon fiber. They add about 1.5 inch to the side, and that way you can fit a 35-inch tire with a more aggressive offset, and you won't have your tires stick out too much.
it just looks so good with the flare. Like you see it from right here, like it just has that good amount of poke without it looking like the tires are just doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, we find that the setup that we have on here, which is a 17 by 8.5 inch wheel with a plus 25 offset on a 35 by 12.5 inch tire. I think this is the best combination. If you go any more, it becomes a, like you gotta start chopping a lot of stuff. But this way it's minimum work you have to do to make them fit. And then, with a little flare that kind of does, continue the body line, it really
does.
Completes the look.
Absolutely. These wheels, the white color on the Heritage Blue. Wow.
Yeah. These are kind of rally inspired, the retro classic design. We find they fit this new body style really well because it's very boxy, very retro. So it kind of works really well with this. And then of course we have the same thing that you guys added to yours, the rock sliders. Same thing, they bolt to the frame. And then we have a ditch light mount bracket here. It's metal and it replaces the OEM plastic. And so we're the only one that offers this bracket that's not permanently like drilled or cut into the thing. So you can remove everything and you can return it fully to stock. So this part took us like almost a year to make because there are some patent pending hardware down there that allows us to put a stud into the plastic cowl, but yet it's still like strong enough that you can move the whole truck with it and it's really stable, like nothing moves here.
So sick.
Yeah. And from far away it looks like the finish matches the plastic really well. So it is a prototype on this one. The final version doesn't have this badge very obvious here, so it's nicer that way.
Looks so cool.
And then we actually have a titanium rear axle pipe here.
The Tacoma's cousin, the 4Runner, they're really similar, but tell us about this specific 4Runner.
Yeah, so this is actually, it started off as a TRD Sport. We got it really, really early on. So, we're able to put a lot of stuff on there, but same philosophy. The bumper here, it doesn't replace the crash beam behind it, it only adds to it. The main function right here, a better location for the recovery points. So, when you're stuck in the mud or snow, you don't really have to dig under anymore. It's right here. And then obviously it gives you some protection when you're hitting on it. You could pretty much jack up the whole vehicle on these 2 points right here.
Hey, that's good to know.
Yeah, and then, since there's no winch behind, it's a clean look, and from far away, it's like, it follows through the body line everywhere.
For sure. That stealth look is what made us choose Nightop.
Yeah, and one extra or important thing I wanted to point out is that all of these bumpers, we actually, have cooling in mind. So there are cutouts on all of the bumpers you see here. That allow the airflow to actually keep your cooling unaffected compared to some of the other brands where it's more blocked off, and then you might see like overheating on the trails and stuff like that. So we try to do our best to keep the airflow, available down there.
Yeah, you guys thought of everything.
Yeah.
How about these wheels, like the color?
The wheels. These are the same wheels you see on the other, the Land Cruiser, same specs, since they're running the same chassis. We just we're playing with it. We're like, okay, so we have a silver paint. It's very bland looking, right? So how do we make it stand out? Because, it was one of the earliest ones, so we didn't really have a choice on the color. So it's like, whatever they have, we had to get it. So how do we make it stand out, right? So we kind of did a really unusual, I would say, wrap color pattern, and then to match that, we added some interesting graphics on the wheel to kind of help emphasize the actual design, right? There's like a gear shape that you normally wouldn't see if it's a single color, and then this is kind of like you know, a highlight, the kind of points out the logo right there. But yeah, it looks really cool when it's spinning. It's like rally, you know.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's why I thought it was like a different wheel completely, because it matches the body, everything, like the colorway, you know, is so good.
It's
so I don't know, like I love this. For like, you know, a lot of people could say like silver is just basic, but once you do all the colorway, all the wrap and everything, the wheel, I'm loving this.
Yeah, that's it definitely stands out. Same rock sliders here. Yeah, it's pretty plain on the back. We don't have any big bumpers on the back. It's just recovery points, and then we offer this hitch skid cover.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of, you know, like I was looking at your hitch, you scraped on it quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, you'll be scraping on this instead and not damaging your hitch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We haven't made one for the Tacoma yet, but, you know, it's something we might consider, but so far we only have that for all the SUVs that Toyota came out with. So
it kind of, I like it. I like that it just covers it up, so it's not just another hole there.
Yeah, it also follows the body line, so all the design lines kind of flow through. And
yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, if you didn't know, you would think that's just how it is.
Yeah, I'm not so familiar with the Land Cruiser, so when I saw it on there, I was like, oh, that's cool that Land Cruiser has that, but it's something that you guys are making.
Yeah, the Land Cruiser came with one, but it's plastic, and they fall off very easily. So this way it's mounted to the frame. It wouldn't fall off like that.
It's mounted to the frame too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, please make one for the Tacoma.
We'll consider that for sure. Yeah, but at least you have the recovery points now. You should be able to handle some of. Well, we've seen people scrape on those a lot, you know, when off-roading, because it does stick out a little further out. So depending on where you're going, you might end up scraping that. But you know, at least you have a little bit extra there to protect your frame.
For sure. That's really cool. This has been awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.